Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Uncomplicated Podcast, a self help podcast dedicated to fostering conversations that matter to the mental and personal well being, as well as self improvements. I'm Haikal, clinical psychologist, and your host.
And I'm Raihan, nutritionist and your co-host. Now today we're diving into another topic on money, but this time the perception towards money. So I'll kick off with a story. So imagine two friends, Lisa and Adam, both growing up in families with different views on money. Now Lisa's family always talk about saving, focusing on the importance of being frugal and cautious. To her, money was something to be protected. Now, Adam, on the other hand, grew up in a family that encouraged taking risks. His parents were entrepreneurs who saw money as a tool for creating opportunities. Fast forward to adulthood, and you can see how these early influences shape their financial decisions. Lisa is careful and risk averse, while Adam tends to be bold, sometimes even impulsive with his finances.
Yeah, it's fascinating how these early perceptions of money can influence us for years to come. Today, we are here to explore how our beliefs and attitudes about money impact our financial choices and what it means to develop a healthier mindset around wealth. To help us understand this better, we've invited MoneyMakcik, our go-to financial expert, known for making financial advice relatable and insightful. Welcome, MoneyMakcik.
Oh,
Hello, yes.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's like another warm welcome.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So how are you?
Good. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being with us again for another episode.
Thank you very much.
So the past episode was on the money personality.
Yes.
Yeah. So this time we're going to talk about perception of money.
Yep.
Okay. So to kickstart the whole entire podcast, we are going to play a game.
Ooh.
Okay. So this is a never have I ever game. So here's whiteboard for you, Haikal, and a marker. Okay. And then this is for you. Okay. So when I ask you a question, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. And then after I ask you the question, I want you to write down yes or no. Let's make it as simple as possible, okay?
Okay.
Now, at the same time, I am going to play the music. All right, so let's get started. Question number 1. Never have I ever felt guilty about spending money on something I wanted. Yes or no? Okay, everybody's writing down. Actually, I don't know what to answer this. Okay, we're gonna show the camera in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Never.
Never. Oh. Yes? Yes? So you do have guilty feelings after spending?
Never have I ever.
Never.
Never lah,
Okay.
never.
Oh, never. Oh, okay. Get it. Okay, are you supposed to change your answer then? Okay, I'm supposed to choose. So I'm supposed to say, oh yeah, I do ever. Okay, so ever.
I've never, I think.
Never.
Okay, EVER, ever. Ta-da! Yes. Okay. Ken, moving on.
What do you buy that you feel guilty about?
The robot vacuum.
Why?
I mean, it's good, it's important, but it's like it helps me in my chores, but it's like $800.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it can warm as well. It's good investment. I actually literally divided 800 divided by 365 days to see how much I'm spending
It
per
is
day.
like the 1 month of a helper fee lah.
Technically, right? Yeah. So it is a good investment. And then, of course, I'm telling myself it is a good investment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, now number 2. Never have I ever judged someone based on how they handle their money. Wow. Haikal, that's a loud sigh.
I think we have the same answer. Based on his side.
Is it? Okay, ready? Yes. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay. So we all secretly judge others lah, huh? Technically.
Not every time, but if you tell me you spend a lot on your boyfriend that never spend on you. Wonderful, like, that's all.
That's cute. Okay, so next question. Never have I ever avoided checking my bank account balance because of financial stress or anxiety. Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Ever.
I never too.
You
To remind myself of how poor.
I don't want to reply myself. Cannot check. You don't know. You never check. You never know.
All right, so that was the game that we had. So thank you. Right, so that was a fun game. We saw each other's responses. I think some of us were guilty of something. Some of us were very honest about something. So, MoneyMakcik, as an expert in your field, do you believe that everyone has a different perception towards money and how money should be managed?
Yes. I mean, I think it boils down to their personal life experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean how they are brought up and how they are raised lah. I mean, I do, because I don't come from a well-to-do family, but I see how my well-to-do friends behave about money is really different.
Yeah.
Their security is really on a different level.
Mm.
Their confidence about money is also on a different level altogether.
Mm.
But so I think that your past experience actually shapes the most who you are lah. Shaping your finances also. Yep, that is my thought process. For example, I hundred my thought about money is a little bit healthier. I feel that no matter what, the wealth is abundance lah. There's always ways that we can earn money. So even when we are short or we feel that we are slightly lesser on the finance, we just work harder, right? Regardless. I think in Singapore there's a lot of opportunities. Can come from, for example, do tuition, do Grab. For a short burst of cash flow, it's not impossible. I think
Yeah.
as long as they're okay to work hard, money can come. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because this is interesting. I mean, based on the story that we have shared earlier on, I guess I always thought that how we were raised and how we were taught about money actually do play a part somehow in our decision making and also our past experiences. Let's say, for example, I think you mentioned you grew up in
Not well to do.
not well-to-do family. Likewise, so it's like sometimes when you get money, it's like, should I spend or should I keep? What if I spend? What if I don't have money in the future? But if I keep, keeping feels good. Hence, if you guys watch the previous episode, I'm a hoarder. But at the same time, it's like how long can I keep and then not spend at all? So that kind of thoughts. So for yourself, like do you believe yourself believe that an early belief being taught by parents or colleagues or friends ever since we're young do influence how you spend now?
Yes, but I also think that it changes as our different stage of life.
Yes.
And I also think that even though we can come from the same parents, different siblings have different habits.
Oh yeah.
My brother and I have very different spending habits. I'm a bit more spendthrift than him, and he's a bit more cautious. Maybe due to different experiences, like different stage of life, right? But I also a bit more confident about money as I start working. As I start working, and then probably so because my husband share his perspective, so it kind of mold and blend into my own perspective. So it changes in some ways or another. So I don't think that it will stay throughout. So for example, if people feel that, hey, I have been a very bad financial planning, they can get better one. Because it doesn't stick to you from birth to death. So it is about who we surround ourselves with, what we read about, what we learn about lah. It will shape our belief.
So basically, all that can be trained.
Yes, all that can be.
Yeah, I think because for me as a psychologist, I'm thinking that, I know the parental influence or the family influence plays a part. But like you mentioned, right, you have siblings with different behaviors as well. And it's partly because of the interaction with the environment. There's only a certain aspect, and it's a significant amount that your parents or your family has a part to play. But then your friends, right, the school environment that you're in and all that as well also plays a part, I feel.
And then one of the things my parents did, which I think did very well, right, is because we are less well-to-do, they want us to mix with the more well-to-do, so that we can their mindset. Right? We get their confidence that when we work hard, we earn money. We get their confidence that you can put money whatever, do stuff and have more lah. So that is their way. So they pushes us to go to schools with a better network. So that's how we get out of it. At least it works similar to my brother and I in that part, where the confidence level is a bit there.
I want to add on to that because on the other hand, for me, we are taught that money is very hard to find. So it's better to save money, keep money. And then as you grow older, as I start to earn my own income, there is a fear to spend because I have this what if whatever I've been taught would happen. Like, oh, if you don't save money, what's gonna happen? All that stuff. No matter how much you earn, try not to spend too much. That's the thought that I was. That's the kind of knowledge that I was taught. Yeah. So with that, now that we are talking about, this perception and
Yep.
all that, for Haikal,
Mm.
as a psychologist, are all these perceptions something that we need to take note of in terms of our personal financial health and personal development? Because does it affect?
I think it's how we spend is something that we need to think about, of course, right?
Mm.
We mentioned previously in the previous episode, because money has a lot of impact. There's a lot of things that we can do with it. One thing that we can consider on whether how much is it actually causing an issue for us, right? If let's say you are spending and then that's not a problem,
Yes.
right? Then it's fine, right? But if it impacts our relationships, it impacts our ability to keep up with the bills at the end of the month, or then that becomes a problem,
Correct.
right? If you feel that, well, what I'm doing right now is kind of okay in the short
Yep.
term and possibly in the long term, then that is fine, right? So I think that's okay. So I would normally assess. I mean, I don't do the financial side, but if I see that there are some behaviors that can be a bit concerning,
Yes.
then I would maybe like explore a bit lah about how this actually leads to, I don't know, it affects their emotion, anxiety, or their emotions. I mean their mood as well.
Yeah.
So maybe MoneyMakcik, right? From your understanding, right? Can you walk us through some money mindsets that people might recognize in themselves?
Okay, I think first and foremost, a money mindset that I strongly believe in is the abundance mindset.
Oh.
It is something that is ingrained in me since young. So last time in the past, right, every time I say I got no money, like I told my mother, I got no money to buy this. Never say got no money. Say not yet.
Yeah.
When I was younger, lame, But as I go older, I totally understand why you say that. Because sometimes it's just a way for me to shun it off, or like I don't want or whatever. But every word matters. Like it is like I said, the energy exude, etc. So now I would never, even if my colleagues say, oh, no money yet. Not yet. I mean, not my time yet. Or maybe in the future. Never said no money. So that word itself, right, I was banned by using it. Every time I use it, my parents will tell me to not say that. Yeah. So it's an abundance mindset lah. Because if we keep saying that, then we are thinking in more of a scarcity. Like there's only a limited amount of wealth. But
Yeah.
I mean, economically speaking, money is being printed every now and then, very often. Which means that there are more and more and more out of there. So therefore, never say no money. That's the thing I was brought up with so strongly.
So instead of thinking of I will never have money or having the limiting belief, it's to think
Not yet.
not yet. So to think in an abundance
Yes,
mindset.
I say, okay, in the future, maybe,
Apart from the abundance mindset, what else?
Apart from the abundance mindset, I think the belief that hard work really can solve money problems in a short period of time. I think one of the downfalls that I see in some of the clients, for example, is the lack of willingness to do something to earn the money. All right. For example, I've people who left the job and then for example, they do Grab and then they earn a decent amount. At least for that short period of time, money still flows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think one of the scarier part about finance is not about having no money. It's about having no money and yet you have to spend money on bills. So let's just say we have no money, but you have nothing to spend on. Actually, okay one nah. All right, you just eat what the parents cook, stay in our own house. Okay, what? Actually, okay,
Yeah.
but what is scary is that we have no money and yet we have obligations.
Yeah.
So it's a negative. So I always share my guy, I mean, temporarily do something lah. Grab or teach something. Take some gig job. At least drive taxi also can.
Yeah.
So that is something that as long as we continuously work, money will come.
I like that mindset because instead of saying, oh, I don't have money, or money will not come, it's more of actually there are opportunities out there. It's just a matter of me trying to find those opportunities. And money will still come in even no matter what I do.
Correct.
And it is more empowering. So it's more empowering. Don't feel like it's not something that's within your control.
Yeah, and I actually like when you mention all this because initially the thought would be I need to earn a certain amount in order to sustain my expenditure. But for you, it's more of as long as there's something coming in, it can be
Correct. But the whole mindset of people say I need to earn certain amount to manage my expenditure, right? Actually, they forget the one thing before that. which is I need to do something to earn that certain amount to keep my lifestyle. So they always focus on the earning, but they don't focus about what can I do to earn it. So that's where I met this guy. I met this client from someone who referred lah. So he is a Grab. He does Grab food and Deliveroo, something like that, right? He brings home about 5K a month. 6 kids. 6 kids.
wow.
Then I'm like, okay. So it's already very tight. Then he said, okay, I want to do something for his children's education. Then I asked, can I ask how are you going to afford? Based on the cash flow that we calculated, it's a little bit tight. He said, no, Fit. Actually, all I need to do is I just need to work extra 5 hours a week. I can settle this amount for my child. I mean, that myself, like, if he can think like that, not bad, you know. So I was very inspired. That's a story I will never forget at IMM Coffee Bean. So because if the question is I have for him is how are you gonna afford? And he said, I just need to work 5 hours more every week so that I can send my 6 kids to tertiary education. I'm like, okay. I want to be your advice. It's not that way. I want you to be honest. I really was very empowered by that.
Yeah.
That's why I realized really as long as you choose.
Jen 5 bintang kembali lagi. Khidmat pasangan suami isteri SQ Rauda memang bagus. Memenangi banyak anugerah Propnex, urus niaga HDB terbaik, penyenarai eksklusif terbaik, penerima anugerah Platinum. Hubungi ejen 5 bintang SQ Rauda dan Pak Nas.
Choose how to work. I mean, you choose that you just need to work to do it, and no reason not.
Yeah. I like that mindset because I mentioned we already talked in the previous episode as well as how I would sometimes highlight to clients about effort equals to outcome, right? The more effort you put in, you get the outcome, right? But sometimes when you give up, you surrender, then you're probably not going to get that outcome as well.
Correct.
So I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are many opportunities out there. Maybe, of course, the job market can be quite scary now. I think you see a lot of people are retrenched and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you talk about really short-term money, there's really a lot of opportunities. Even working in a barista, fast food joint, it can be really be a very short-term. But at least it solves some finances here and there. And it keeps us going. You know what I mean? It keeps us going. Spending the hour earning some money is better than spending the hour not doing anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Even if you earn $8 or $10 per hour, still better than not doing anything.
Yeah. So the mindset that we need to have is that money is actually possible to find as long as we put in the effort to find money, no matter what kind of effort. Because it's always there. It's always available out there.
Correct.
Which also means that when we have this positive self-talk, it translates to better habits as we building forward.
Yeah. So maybe to those who are struggling,
Yeah.
you are in probably in more control than you think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's something that can be done.
Correct.
That's true. There's always something for someone out there. Right.
There are many solutions out there. As long as we work towards finding it. That's the part that I really enjoy about money, because I believe that, like I mentioned, it's in abundance.
Yeah.
If people can print, because money is printed day in, day out, based on whatever policies that there are, which means that what's the effort that we put in. So don't focus on the outcome without thinking about what's the effort I'm going to do.
Yeah. Have you met clients with a lot of limiting beliefs in terms of their, money and
A lot. A lot. But to some extent, some limiting belief can also save them from more harm. For example, perhaps due to that limiting belief, they also make more careful decisions. But with that in mind, also means that it will grow lesser lah. As in, like, the looking forward to having more is lesser. So I will look at the two perspective. Like, if they're really that limiting belief, as long as they are still healthy, is okay. The a bit most unhealthy limiting belief that I can think of is, this is not my fate, lor. I'm just a cup. So I'm always gonna be poor.
Right.
Bro, you're only 30. There's a lot of, you're fit and healthy. There's a lot of things you can do. I mean, even if you talk about maybe you're not earning a 5K job now, you can go get a diploma first, get a degree. Sooner or later, you still can. But in I would say the limiting belief is rather than the limiting fate, they already seal themselves. So the fate is their own self seal. That, okay, this is my life gonna be. I'm always gonna be poor and cash poor for the rest of my life.
Haikal, why do you think these limiting beliefs always occur or they are present?
Well, because this limiting beliefs, again, it comes from somewhere. And
Yeah.
if you have listened to me enough, you know that my view is that it comes from your past experiences. When MoneyMakcik say about, no, like, yeah, never mind lah, no, it's just my fate lah. I see that as a more surrendering mindset. And that surrendering mindset is because they maybe have tried and failed.
Yeah.
Tried and failed, and like, what's the point? And I would say that for some of them, they may not have tried and failed, but these beliefs has been passed down from the family members. Like, nah, we are just meant to be poor lah. So yeah lah, you just have to accept it. So they surrender to that belief, and that's kind of like what I call that belief is more of like insufficient self-control belief. Like, yeah, no, it's very difficult, but you know, if for me to put in extra effort, then I better don't need lah, right? They surrender to that. And there are other beliefs as well that would be tied into other experiences. I have people who, well, they are, well, very well to do, richer than me, but asking me for discount.
Asking for discount.
And obviously they are doing much better than me, because they have had kind of past experiences that make them think that, you know what, money is not something that is stable. It may just disappear suddenly, and it's not something that's within my control. So although this is something that have happened like many years ago, their behavior right now of trying to just keep the money is to keep the little part of them, the child part of them that felt that insecurity, to feel more secure. You know, when you have this money, right, then you feel secure. But then when you are just too extreme in one, in one perspective, right, it actually limits you in other ways. Right?
Yeah,
When you
that's
have so much, then it limits your ability to meet your needs, to be happy. For example, you're just so focused, you're just so afraid, right? Then you can't, what are you going to do with the money anyway?
Right.
So that also becomes something that is limiting. So for those of you who may have, issues with either spending too much, spending too little, whatsoever, yeah, maybe to consider where does this relationship with money come from, right? And then, get that necessary advice or support from someone that will be able to either give you the information that you need or overcome the fears that you may have as well.
Right.
Mm.
I do agree with. I like the surrendering mindset. I never thought of that term. You just surrender to fate, right?
Yeah.
But if people ever wanted to know how much exactly is enough as a savings, right? When there's actually a ballpark figure. Generally people say 3 to 6 months of your income for emergency fund. If you are a bit more conservative, 6 to 12 months also can. You know what I mean? But then the problem is, how do we come about 3 to 6 months or 6 to 12 months? So the least likely things is, how long are we going to get ourselves jobless? You know what I mean? So if after 3 months a person has no job, what's next?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are we still gonna wait, or are we gonna to do diverse side hustles that we can do? Right. So what is the likelihood that we will lead ourselves 12 months without a job? I mean, I'm talking about emergency. I'm not talking about planned sabbatical. Yeah. So that's why once you have 6 months, 12 months is enough, then you can do other things. I mean, of course, that also includes if you have goals like buying a car or house. That's a separate matter altogether. But what is enough? Maximum 12 months should be okay lah. Right. I mean, all of us, 3 of us here, what is the likelihood of us sitting down not doing anything? I'm not saying that jobs don't come. That was different lah.
Yeah.
But if even jobs don't come, we will do something else lah.
Yeah.
You can borrow from MoneyMakcik.
Then I will go to your clinic, ask for discount. But it was the same way. Just cut from there lah.
Suddenly MoneyMakcik becomes a debt. You need to borrow from MoneyMakcik.
Please don't call. Wrong number.
No, I like this. I love this conversation because I feel myself there are sometimes that limiting beliefs that comes in terms of money. I think mainly because how I grew up, and also because the surroundings. Sometimes you have people who say, "Hey, it's okay, you can spend your money because it's your hard-earned money." At the same time, you go like, "Why do you spend your money? You can save your money." So there's two spectrum of people in the environment. So maybe Haikal, in your expertise, what would be your input towards all of us out there who do have this limiting belief? I know you mentioned it's about to have the support system, but what's the first step to, maybe for them to work on themselves?
I think the first step, right, is to maybe do a reflection of, are you actually happy, right? Because it's broad, but if the answer is no, why aren't you happy, right? Is it because you just have everything, but it just doesn't feel that it's enough? Or because it's always not enough For example,
Mm.
if you are not feeling happy or secure about money, then it may, or not have a good relationship with money, then it may indicate something there that you may need to address. So because with money, we mentioned it does serve a lot of purpose. And if it's not, if you realize that, well, no, I'm not really very happy, I have this unhealthy relationship with money and all that, then examine why, and then may ask your close ones as well. What's your family members, your friends, I think, to get a perception of like how do other people spend their money. Because I feel that you don't necessarily need to go straight to an advisor, but how does the general public spend? And if the person goes like, yeah, if you ask your friend like, okay lah, I like to make this joke with my wife about spending on tudung, right? How many tudungs do you need?
Guilty. Don't need.
What would be an average number, If you say like, I need to have like 15 different colors, for example, right? That is still normal or not?
That's the thing, normal.
Are you sure it's normal? So it's a check with people on what would the reality look like. What would be an average one? Then from there, if you realize that it is a very different tally, right? Okay lah, then maybe something to examine further. That's what I thought.
You know who will be the most happiest person right now? My wife, because when she hears this, she's like, see, I told you it's normal.
MoneyMakcik tells to all the women that you can buy many tudungs.
I'm spending this money to make myself cover my aurat, halal. Every money I spend is for the goodness of my head.
Self-talk, some affirmation for spending. No, thank you so much, Haikal. I think that's a very good tip. And I mean, the mind plays a huge important role as well in how you move forward in terms of your spending and all that. For yourself, as a financial advisor, what would be one advice that you can share to all of us out there, maybe who has a limiting belief towards their money, in order for them to understand that actually maybe there is an abundance out there?
Oh, okay. So economically speaking, right, we need to spend money to earn money. It's not only in business wise. Even how does a country's economy get better? Is because the population spend more, whether the tourists spend on the country, right? So therefore, the more we spend, the more we can get money. Also on tudung. But make it this. If we spend responsibly in some ways or another, for example, don't be scared to spend on our loved ones or our parents. The money will come back tenfold. Don't be scared to spend on food. I mean, I'm not saying eat Michelin star every day lah. But if we had to spend a bit more to eat healthier food, we're actually saving money for our future illnesses and medical bills. If you have to spend a little bit more money on maybe a transport, I'm not saying Grab. I'm not saying that take private hire often lah. But for example, you are rushing to an important meeting. Would you rather lose the deal or go Grab?
That's true.
And sometimes you have to spend money to earn money, and that's where, of course, that's what the disclaimer is responsible spending lah. But if you really hoard too much, number one, we are not doing good to ourselves, to our loved ones, to our community.
That's true.
Alright. And then we also cannot bring the money to the grave.
That's true.
So therefore, the abundance is the more we spend, the more we get.
Right.
The thin line is where you spend. That's the question lah.
Yeah, you're right. I like when she say, the more you spend, the more you earn. Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
So maybe, wife, when you buy more tudung, I can sell your tudung.
Yeah, I'm thinking, any tudung sponsors that want to sponsor this podcast? Ironic, eh? 2 guys on a podcast is a tudung sponsor.
They will show you how to wear.
You do a tutorial. How to see?
Oh, what? Tudung don't get me started. After you buy tudung, you need to buy the shelf for the tudung.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's an investment, It's like a lot of investment if you have like a collection of tudung. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so this question is for the both of you. Is give your inputs to this. So, do you think by changing our perception towards money can make a difference?
Yes. Because when we are positive towards it, we look at it positively, we attract it a bit better. I'm not talking about attract as in not magically attract. but the way we talk about it, the way we embrace it, is more positive. But to start is to surround yourself with people who are positive about money. I don't want to say that.
Wow.
Because regardless is how, for example, we can say about parents. Then we can talk about our friends, our colleagues, the people, 5 people that we hang out with more. It is how their who they are, they also affect their perception. So, for example, if I really my 5 friends are people who really, for example, save a lot,
Yeah.
not impossible for us to really go to that direction.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean? So if you know, today I'm a bit more negative about money. I think money is very evil. How about you hang out with people who donate money to charity? How about you hang out with people who spends money on good causes? They definitely have a positive mindset about money. They wouldn't think money is not enough because if not, they would not be donating. They wouldn't think money is not enough because they are not worried about what they have now. You know, when they are more empowering in nature. But if you keep talking about people who hang out with people who talk about wow, how Singapore is expensive, got a lot of debts, and then our mentality also go a bit more negative lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the reason why when I wanted to change my own perspective of money, I went to do a bit more volunteer work because they are very selfless. So I'm not there yet, but a bit can sparkle a bit here and there lah.
Right. Haikal, yourself.
So I think for me, right, I think the purpose of this podcast is you want to talk about health, mental health, financial health, and other. And I think it all comes together, right? I mean, I may be talking about mental health, and I'm definitely not a financial expert, but I think that if you have a good relationship with money, right, and your financial health is good, that will have an impact on your physical health.
Yeah.
You can sleep better, you probably will eat better, you have a better impact on your mental health. So all of this plays a part, right? So if and it could be the case where the financial health could be something that be preventing you from having the optimal life that you want. And if that is the case, then well, consider, right, what are the changes that you can make, or get that kind of support or direction from people on towards getting that financials steady for you.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
Yeah, that is very good advice from the both of you. I think this whole entire episode has made me even like, oh yeah, we have been, when we surround ourselves with people who complain about, being expensive and all that, it actually does get into us, and then it actually does affect the way we think about money, and then that can actually cause other problems like stress and etc. So yeah, it's all about how we perceive money and how we have a good relationship with money.
Yeah.
So we hope that this conversation has encouraged everyone listening to take a moment and consider their own money mindset. So reflect, challenge limiting beliefs, and embrace the idea that we can all develop a healthier relationship with money.
And we'll be back next week with more insights on self-care and growth.
And with that, let us work towards uncomplicating the complicated. Bye!
It's uncomplicated.